Hi everyone and welcome back to my series of Python Unleashed. My name is Ajay and today's topic is we are going to understand how to create modules in Python. So when I use the term modules, basically it will be a separate Python files which will be having functions which will only have functions into it, and then we can use these modules into the main Python program. We can call these modules and use those modules so that the kind of managing the code becomes pretty easy. Okay, now before we go ahead, let me tell you Python basically have packages. We also call that as libraries, and for every special need we require a special package. For example, if I have to work with graphs, in that case I need to install this package, that is matplotlib. Now this is a package that you need to install. But if you're working with Anaconda distribution, in that case you have this package pre-installed. You don't need to install it separately. Similarly, if I have to work with websites, then in that case I need to install a package that is called as Django. So using this package we can have a web application that you can develop using this package that is called as Django. So packages are basically folders, okay, and these folders basically contain the modules. Now there can be many modules. So maybe matplotlib has many module files. So these are basically Python files. Understand it. So every package has its set of modules, and then these modules will have a set of programs. So for example, file1.py will have functions like function 1 and function 2, function 3, and there might be n number of functions. Similarly, that is a file2.py will have its own set of functions and so on. So a package will have modules, and the modules, every module will have its own set of functions. So this is how basically the structure is. Okay, now in this particular tutorial I'm going to keep it very short. We are just going to understand how to create a simple module of just one single module, and that module will have some functions. Okay, this is what this tutorial is all about, and in the future then we will learn in fact how to create a package and install that package with Python, and then we can use that package as same as what we install the package and use it. Okay, so you can have your own set of packages. Okay, so let us start. So we have how to create a module. Okay, now for that, for example, we have already worked with some modules, or that is the math module. If you might have worked with this module, now if you have to work with this module, you need to explicitly import that, and I can say that is math, right? A math module. And then what I can do is I can simply use this module, that is math dot, okay, I think this is a small m, right? And then I can use the functions of that particular module. Now you can see these are so many functions that are available. Now this math module, it is pre-installed. It is the module provided by Python. Okay, and now what we are going to do is, after this, just we will understand this and then we will create our own module. Now you can see this math module which Python has provided, there are so many functions available. Now this is a module which we can use for all the mathematical formulas and calculations. So for example, if I want to have a factorial of a number, so you can see there is a function called as factorial, you can see out here, and then I can just pass a value like 5, and I'm just printing that. And now if I run this, and you can see the output, that is 120 out here. So that is the factorial of 5 is 120, isn't it? Similarly, there are so many other functions that I can use. For example, if I have the POW, that is a power function. So power function basically, for example, 5 comma 2. So this is how to use it. So this basically will calculate 5 raised to 2, and if you calculate that, you can see the answer is 25. Okay, so this is how you can import a module, a pre-installed module provided by Python, and using the keyword that is import. Okay, import math. And if you want to just work with one particular function, so in that case, for example, I just want to work with the factorial. So in that case, what you need to do is, or with the power function. Over here I've used the POW, so let us just work with the power function. So I'm just going to work with the power function. So in that case, I need to change that. I need to use from, which is a keyword, module, that is math, and then I will just import, that is POW. Okay, and then once I use this, once I just import one particular module, then I just don't need to use this math dot. Okay, that is a module. From that particular module, I'm using this function. But if I use this from math import POW, then I just need to ignore this. I don't need this, and now I can use this straight away. Okay, you can see out here. Okay, so this is how you can do it. So if you want to, you're not going to work with all the math functions. You are just going to work with maybe with factorial and POW. So at this point I have POW, and that is power function, and if I want to work with the factorial, so these are the two functions I'm going to work. So I can just give a comma and say factorial. That's it. Okay, and now you can use these functions. So from math import pure power and factorial. So let us just work with this. That is okay, just let me just copy this. Okay, and paste it, and then I can use the function factorial and just pass 5, and now you can use this, and you can see that is 25 for the first answer, that is 5 raised to 2, and this is factorial of 5, that is 120. So you can see if you are using with 1 or 2 or 5 functions of a math module, so why would you import the entire module, right? Just use this syntax, that is from keyword, from the module math import, and then use these two functions. So I'm just importing these functions and then I'm using them. Okay, so this is how you can use this import a particular module. Now what we will do is, just like we have this math module, we will create our own module which will do the same work, that is POW and factorial. Okay, now the first thing is we need to create a module. So for creating a module, we need to have these two functions in that particular module. So let us just write the function, that is factorial, and that is n. So n is the parameter out here. So simply I will take a value, that is a variable, fact is equal to 1, and then say for I in range 1 comma n plus 1. Now n plus 1 is because I will start from 1 and this goes 1 less than n, so I'm just adding plus 1 to this, isn't it? And then simply fact is equal to fact into I, and then come outside the loop and just return the fact. That's it, right? So this is the only one function that we created at this point. Let me just have this one function. Let us save this. Okay, I've saved this with test.py, but I will change it to something like save as, and I will say maths s. You can see I've given a small s over here, that is maths. So the by default we have the math function, but I'm using, that is the Python's module, I mean to say, but I'm giving the name of my module as maths. Okay, and I will save this now. Now this becomes my module, maths.py. Let us just close this file and come to a new file. Now what I will do is I will import that module, that is maths. Okay, make sure that you have you're saving all the files in the same directory. Okay, in that case this will work, otherwise this will not work. Okay, so I'm just importing this maths module, and then just say print maths dot, and you can see over here it is showing the function, that is factorial. Okay, this is the function that we created, and then just pass 5. Now let us run this. Okay, save this like test.py, and now we will run this, and you can see we have 120, and then we have, that is factorial of 4 is 24, factorial of 5 is 120. So we are getting it The answer is right. That's perfect, isn't it? So what we have done is just we created a module called as maths, and this we have just saved in a separate file. I will just open that file. That is this one. Okay, and you can see this is maths.py, and what will maths.py will have? It will only have the function definitions. You can see the function definitions, and then in this test.py I just imported this module, and then from that module I am using the function that is factorial, isn't it? So this is basically a call to that function. So from here it jumps to this particular module, and then if I say 4, so this 4 is received to this n. So this I'm passing this as an argument, that is a constant 4, and this parameter n will receive that 4, and then this will calculate the factorial of n, that is 4, and then I will return that answer. So that the answer get returned over here where it has been called. So it straight away prints. So I'm using that print function, so it will straight away print that particular value. Okay, now let us just create one more function inside this, and that is the POW function. So POW function, okay, now by default this is just a POW function which is already it exists. It's okay, you can just use x comma y. So this will be basically x raised to y. Now how do we calculate that? Just let us have a, that is 1, and if I want x raised to y, so x should be multiplied y times, isn't it? X should be multiplied y times. So for I in range, I'll go by the y time, and I will start it from 1, or else it will not really matter. And then what I will do, a is equal to a into x. I think this will solve the purpose, and then return a. Okay, now this is a POW function. Now let me just save this first, and then go to test.py, copy this, paste it to the next line, and then I use math dot, you can see the function that is POW 5 comma 2, and now we will run the function, and you can see we got the factorial of 4, that is 24, and 5 raised to 2, that is 25. So let me just give this as 4, and then we will have the answer, that is 5 raised to 4, that is 625, isn't it? So it is working perfectly. So these are the two functions. So this is the function that is factorial, and this is the next function that is POW. So we created our own functions, isn't it? That is factorial, and that is the POW functions. So this is how you can create your own modules. At this point you just need to store these modules in the same directory that you're working. So in my upcoming tutorial, what we are going to learn is basically we are going to learn how to create a package, and which you can actually distribute. So once you create this package, then you can distribute this package, and anybody can use this package. So we are going to learn how to professionally create a package, and how to have multiple modules and multiple functions. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm keeping it very short for today. So see you next time. Bye for now.